Humanity, I love you all, with all my heart, with all my might. It's been a few days since my last video, but a lot has happened in the world. As you all know, things are changing rapidly. The Republic is strong. We are winners. We would always be. We are the citizens of the Republic of Planet Earth. Today, I want to talk to you about infinite, eternal, dawning sunrises and what it means for all of us, the citizens of the Republic of Planet Earth, us, humans, humanity at large. As we all know, the sun rises every day here on Earth. This is just the way it is, and the way that would always be, that will never change, because it's part of who we are. It's part of existence, part of creation, part of infinity. So we all know the sun is a creator. He created the conditions on Earth so the planet can have life and sustain us. We all know that the human heart is electromagnetic field that gives us life. We love with our hearts. Thus, we're loving creatures. It's in our nature. We're a benevolent species. Just like the human heart and its electromagnetic field of creation and life, the sun itself has its own electromagnetic field of creation, an infinite life source that feeds us every day here on Earth. Our mother, planet Earth, also has its own electromagnetic field of creation and life, giving life to life here on Earth. So it's all connected. And this is why I'd like to talk about this point today, and what it means to be human from an energy point of view, which is the most relevant point because we are all infinite energy. Biochemically speaking, we are electricity, thanks to the human heart and the heartbeat, because this is who we are. We are infinite energy, infinite creation. This is us, the human race. We're light beings. Light, spherical light beings. This is who we are. Spherical light beings of infinite creation. We create with our actions. When we put our heart behind our actions, we create infinite potential. Thus, infinite eternal creators, just like the sun, like the earth. So, I have developed this concept called early square. And it's a very simple idea. It's a very simple concept based on objective reality. As we all know, the sun rises every day, and the sun is electrical just like us. So what is the meaning of this? That our hearts are in sync with the sun. It's called the circadian rhythm. We're early morning creatures. We rise with the sun and we go to sleep with the sun. This is who we are. It's the best way for us to operate. It's just the way nature wants it, because it's who we are. It's our nature. It's our DNA. We're electrical, just like the sun. So, if you think about it from that point of view, what does early square means? Well, early night equals early morning. So what is the meaning of this? When we go to sleep early, after sunset, not late, but just after dusk, it changes based on the seasons and the hemispheres and the place where you are on Earth. But it's a pretty straightforward notion. If we go to bed early and we have our good nights of sleep, then we're gonna rise early. Automatically, it's a natural action, it's an instinct. We get up with the sun. with the sun rays, early morning sun rays. We get up with the sun and go about our days as we are. It's the best way to be, in sync with the sun, in sync with the harmonious electrical currents of the systems that embed us, planet Earth, and us. So, why is this important? Because of our eyes, in a way, and our heart. Our eyes have cells called cones. These cone cells give us the capacity to see light and colors. And what's light and colors? It's not the sun rays and the electricity coming through the beams emanated through solar flares and the radiancy that comes from the sun. So obviously it's all connected. So early in the morning, when the sun rays just start to hit planet Earth, as we start to see the sun in the morning, we start to see colors, we start to see light, thanks to our cones, in our iris, in our eyes. So if you think about it, the early morning sun is not as intense and as bright as the midday sun or the afternoon sun. And this is by design, because we are in sync with creation itself, because we are creators just like creation itself. We just create at a biological scale through our actions, rather than an astronomical scale like the sun with electricity and energy. So if you think about it from that point of view, then that means that our sun, our eyes, can adjust to the and the intensity, brightness and intensity of the sun rays, and we can stare at the sun without any issues whatsoever. And we can stare at the sun, look at the sun, gaze at the sun, lock eyes with the sun, step into the light, and our eyes naturally adjust to the light. And through that natural process, we all start to imagine all this energy coming through our iris and regenerating and activating our genetic code through our iris, through our cone cells. Our eyes get stronger and they get adjusted and they get capable of supporting high levels of brightness and intensity coming through our senses, in this case our sight. So as this happens, this incredibly large amount of energy from the sun comes straight into our brains through our eyes and through our organism, and all this energy, which is just further energy, feeds us and goes through our bodies, through the nervous system, and it regenerates us, it heals us, it helps us, it makes us stronger, it makes our heart stronger. Our heart's electrical, so our heart gets in sync with our eyes and the sun energy coming through it, and it makes us more powerful beings, more capable of bigger things, capable of facing memories that are painful, capable of having the bravery that we wouldn't otherwise have, having the courage to face adversity and to be who we are meant to be. This notion is a very powerful one, because as we start to do this on a daily basis, as part of our daily routines, early squared, you start to realize that your body automatically syncs to the sun, and we become sundials. Biological sundials in sync with the sunlight, because it's our natural instinct, because we're electrical just like the sun. We have a heartbeat that is electromagnetic and creates an electromagnetic field just like the electromagnetic field of the sun, just at a different scale of creation, a biological scale rather than a astronomical scale. So when you put them together, you start to realize that it's all part of the same dynamic. It's infinite creation, infinite eternal dawning sunrises. So at dawn, when you sync with the sun, then you start to operate differently, and your life becomes much more meaningful, and you're energized every day, constantly. And then you start to realize that as the day moves on, as the sun rotates and translates and moves across the earth, you start to operate, and your energy levels start to operate accordingly. So you move throughout the day just the same way the sun moves throughout the day. And you go about your days and your life highly energized because the energy of the sun is beaming. And then, of course, at midday, you have this high intensity energy coming from the sun at its peak. That energy is prime time for daily action. All day is daily action. All day matters. You can take action every day, all the time. But if you want to have higher results, you can take actions at midday because that's the peak time for the sun. So, but you still can take action all the time because daily action is what matters. We are creators, infinite, eternal creators. This is who we are. So having said these, remember the intensity of the brightness gets adjusted through your eye lessons, through your iris. You can adjust to the light. You can stare at the sun just like I am right now, and there will be nothing to it because your eyes get adjusted to it. The muscles around your eyeballs get adjusted and get stronger, just like when you do weights and exercise. Your eyes get adjusted and it doesn't affect you in any way, shape, or form because it's part of our nature, because of our cone cells. We're electrical beings. So if you think about it from that point of view, then throughout the day, you can always have your sessions and stare at the sun and contemplate and have your sessions with it as you go on by your day and you do your work and your daily actions, whatever that is, your purposeful daily action. And then, of course, you got dusk and the sunset, as we call it. There's a perfect time also to stare at the sun because the intensity and the brightness of it is a lot less. So you can adjust to it easier as you're learning and you're getting used to this daily human practice, the sun iris nexus, this infinite capacity that we have to connect with the creator, the sun, at that level. It grounds us, you see, it gives us a center of gravity. It proves to us that we're one with everything as we step into the light and understand that we all creators, we are infinite energy, and this is who we are. And the sun, through its infinite energy and its love for us, created the conditions on earth so we can exist and we can have this connection and understand our role in society, who we are and we're meant to be. So as you start to go by your days and apply the early squared practice, you start to realize that this notion of infinite eternal dawning sunrises, because the sun will always dawn on earth and the sun will always rise, and we're infinite and eternal because we're energy. This is who we are. So when you adjust yourself, your eyes to the sunlight and become a sundial and open your heart and let your natural heartbeat, the pulse of creation, the pulse of life, takes its natural course of action just like energy does. You start to realize that as you open up your heart, you become braver, you have more courage, you become a better human, you can deal with your traumas and face adversity and do all these things with an open heart because you're infinite energy and understand that this is who we are. We're creators, we're loving beings, we're a benevolent race. So obviously this is a message of love, as all my messages. This is a message of creation. This is a message of powerful, infinite energy of love and creation because this is who we are. We're infinite beings. We're infinite light beings. We're spherical light beings. This is who we are. This is our nature. It would always be and it will never change because we were created by the sun and the earth and the DNA, and it's all connected. So we're meant to stare at the sun throughout the day, become sundials and be in sync with it. So we can be stronger, so we can be braver, so we can have the courage to do what it takes for our purpose to take place and arrive to our destinations, because we are infinite eternal compasses. We all are. We all have our different ways to go about it. But as you start to understand that you're one with everything and we're infinite energy and you sync with the sun through the sun seeking and staring at the sun just like I am right now. You see, I can stare at it and there's nothing to it. It's absolutely fine. So then you open your heart as it's electrical. It's all connected. And this is obviously the message today. I love you very much. And remember who you are, humanity. You're infinite light beings. We're infinite energy. We're infinite creators. We create through our actions, daily action. We're compasses. The first primary element of our compass is identity and true self, understanding who we are, infinite energy, infinite love, and define that in human terms based on your dimensions for each individual. The second primary element is purpose. You choose your purpose with your free will. You can have an infinite number of purposes. It's up to you. The third is time and energy. Then again, the energy synchronicity here is not a coincidence. This is purposeful. We purposefully created by existence to understand this. And the notion of time as we go about our days is relative. So you put that into motion, and that notion is very powerful once you start to understand this primary element of time and energy combined with your purpose and your identity and true self. Then the fourth primary element, as we all know, part of the compass is action, daily action. We create through our actions, purposeful daily action. So when we go by our days and we're sundials, infinite eternal sundials, in sync with the heart, in sync with the sunlight, we all one, because the heart produces these poles, as we know, electromagnetic poles of life and creation that gives us the ability to create, have free will, be alive, to love, put love behind our creations. So we start creating loving things. In my case, this is my message to you, a message of love, a message of creation, a message of the potential of the human race and who we are. Then the fifth primary element is why, how. We understand why, how, and its nature, infinite nature. Why has an infinite nature just like creation itself. Why, insatiable why. And how is the action, is how we back up those whys. How do we get to that infinity through action? How? How do we manifest our dreams? How do we manifest our purpose? Through action, daily action, as we're infinite creators. We're loving beings. We're a benevolent race. This is who we are. So obviously it's a recalibration mechanism, why, how. It recalibrates us, our compass, each and one of us. It's a self-correcting mechanism that we all have inside of us to make sure that we get to our destinations and we understand who we are, infinite energy, infinite love, infinite creators, infinite eternal creators. This is who we are. And by staring at the sun, syncing with your heart, you understand this and you put it into practice every day by becoming an infinite eternal sundial. Then the sixth primary element is flow as energy. We are energetic, obviously, so we flow like energy through our actions. It makes us feel good because we have a heart and we have emotions. We feel when we put love behind our actions, passion is just what happens. We very energized, we're very happy about what we do and what we go about on our days. This is just the way it is. That will never change. Now, the seventh primary element is true north. As we understand, once we unflow in the zone with our energy and our actions, then we know where we headed. We headed towards our destination. We're powerful creatures, powerful creators, infinite eternal creators. This is who we are. So then the eighth primary element is obviously destination, is arriving to our purposeful destination, our dreams, our wishes, our goals, our objectives, our targets, all the different things that we're aiming to do. Once we put the energy and the actions behind it through love and passion, then we get there, because this is who we are. We're creators, we're biological creators. And this is our nature. So the message is obviously a message of love, a message of creation, a message of infinity, because this is who we are. We're electrical beings. Remember, our heartbeat gives us life. And these poles of electromagnetic energy creates this field of force around us that allows us to exist and prove to us our nature, which is energy and electrical, just like the sun and the earth, with their own electromagnetic fields around them, giving us the life that we all have. So we can understand this notion, stare at the sun, open our hearts, and be one with everything through our actions and our creations. I love you, humanity, very much. Love you all with all my heart, with all my might. I'll be posting more often. Have a wonderful day.